Hey, hello everyone. Good morning. Can anyone confirm audible or not? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So where we stopped in the last session? Let me open our workspace folder and recent. Right, let's go with open folder. BTS trainings, I guess. Okay. No. So the last session we created like one application, right? Node with the Express application we created. In this particular application, okay, we created like some routes, right? One is like student route we created or not, and we implemented like Swagger also. Okay, and we implemented like Swagger also to test this particular endpoint. We implemented like Swagger also. So up to here we completed, right? Okay, so how we can create one basic endpoint? How we can create one basic endpoint? Okay, so whenever the client want to send a request to this particular URL, client want to send a request to this particular particular endpoint, you can say, tell me the URL. Tell me the URL. The full-fledged URL is what? See, this is the student.js file. This student.js file in the routes folder. This routes folder inside the node application or not. Three hierarchies you can see here. In the node application, we have the routes folder. In the routes folder, we have the student.js file or not. Three routes. Okay, first, how we can reach to node application in the application. Okay, while running the application, we given like one port number. Okay, 2020 is the port number. Whenever in your local machine 2020 port number, if you use, you can reach up to this one node with Express application. You can reach up to here. Once you come to this particular application, from here you can navigate to routes folder. From here we can navigate to routes. Okay, here the routes is like users. The routes is like users. Okay, or students or index.js, whatever it may be based on your requirement. But our requirement is like what students. Once you reach students, from here, just I want to go with what? Okay, I want to go to this register student or not. Just I want to go to the register student. Okay, so the full-fledged URL is what? The full-fledged URL is what?
Localhost.
HTTP, HTTP, okay, localhost 2020. I can reach up to my node application. From the node application, this particular file path where you mentioned in the app.js, okay, you mentioned your file path say student router.js or not. Student router dot okay, student.js. That particular file path is this one, and this file bind with this path or not, bind with this path or not. So if you want to reach to this file, the file path is what? Students is the file path. Students is the file path. Okay, so where you want me to go? Come to this one. Okay, student.js. If you want to go, okay, student is the one. Once you have the student, once you have the student, inside the student there has multiple endpoints of there. Register student one endpoint, get student is one endpoint. Like this, multiple endpoints are there. The endpoint name is like register std is the endpoint. Okay, so this is your full-fledged URL or not? This is your full-fledged URL. Once you have this URL, and the request method also what? Post is the method. Once you have the URL and the method, we can send a request to the server or not. We can send a request to the server. Understood? So Let me run this application. So how we can run this application? Let me run this application. How we can run this application? In my
And
package.json, there has one command is there to start the application. Okay, node mon, okay, www file is going to execute. So how we can start it? Just you can write like npm start is the one. Okay, now this is the PowerShell. So you can go to the command prompt. Okay, just do run npm start. Whenever I run npm start, it gives some error. What is that error? You can check it. Okay, node here. You have to run this command where the package.json is there. In that folder only you have to run the command. But node 12 is not having the package.json, right? Where it is my node express app. Okay, go to cd my node express app. Here you can write like npm start is the command or not. Whenever you run the command, here nodemon is not recognized as an internal or external command. That means nodemon is not there, he said. So don't install every time. If it is like one time operation, can you do one thing? There has one command is there, npx is the command. It is like execute this command one time. Okay, one time usage, it is going to execute this command, and whatever you mentioned the JS, that JS file as usual it's going to run. So it is going to activate nodemon one time operation. It is not installed in your local machine. So npx is nothing but okay, node package executable this particular command. So how we can write npm start? If I write first, it is going to make this nodemon is available. Okay, and then it is going to run your JS file. Now let me save this one first. Let me save it. Now from here, npm start, npm start. Now see npx node mod. It is going to execute this node mod. It is going to execute this node mod. It is asking like okay, node mod installation. Just you can do it. Now my node mod is like directly executed or not. Okay, up to here. Okay. So my application is like up and running at port number 2020 or not. So if you want to test this one, already you implemented like a Swagger. The next one is like Postman also. To implement, okay, to run, okay, to check your endpoints in the Swagger implementation, how you did. First of all, okay, you can add two libraries, Swagger JS Docs and Swagger UI with Express. Your application is like what? Node with Express. So the Swagger JS Docs is one library. Swagger UI Express is like one more library. Okay. Once it is done, the next configuration you have to do in the app.js. The next configuration you have to do in the app.js. So you can get the Swagger UI. Okay. The next one is like the Swagger JS. Okay, it's like a configuration file. Okay, Swagger supposed to be run in which port number? My application port number and my Swagger port number both are like same. Okay, this particular one no need to remember directly. You can get it from internet, but you have to give proper port number, and you have to give the path of your endpoints. You have to give the path of your endpoints. Okay, the Swagger.js file. Okay, you can take it. Now once you have this one, okay, now you have to add this configuration to my Swagger UI. Okay, now say this app.use to my Swagger, the endpoint is like API docs, anything you can put it. Swagger UI setup dot Swagger configuration and the Swagger UI server. Okay, this is the configuration you have to do it. Now once you did this configuration, now my Swagger is going to run in the API docs path. Now, if you want to check localhost 2020 API docs, okay, now like this, it is going to be visible. Now, which endpoint you want? Okay, now this endpoint I want to execute. Just you can execute the endpoint. Okay, whenever you want to try it, just you can try it out and then you can execute it. Okay, how to pass the parameters and everything we'll see. Now the output is like hello or not. That is working as expected. Okay, this is the way you can test it by using Swagger. This is my endpoint. And By default, all the endpoints are not visible in the Swagger dashboard. Okay, how it is visible? Now see, you have to write like the decorator called as @Swagger. Okay, the next one is like which endpoint. Okay, the students application level localhost 2020 already you mentioned here in the Swagger JS. Already you mentioned localhost 2020. From there you have to go to student.js file, right? That's the reason you have to go to students path. In the students spot register.student, like that you have to mention. Like that you have to mention. The request method is like what? The request method is like what? See, this indentation and everything is like an important. Okay, what is my request method? My request method is like a post. Write some description. Okay, based on your requirement. The response is like what? Go on that. The description is like success. Like this, you can put it. Parameters, if you want, okay, how we can pass the path parameters. All these things we'll see later. For now, just a basic thing. For now, it's like just a basic thing. Now, if you want, okay, request dot router dot get student. Now, tell me this particular function called like get how many times? So, okay, one time it's going to call by passing how many parameters? Three parameters. One is like request, another one is like response, so another one is like next. What is this request, response, and next? We'll discuss. Now, first thing is like my get method take how many parameters? Get method take how many parameters? Anyone?
Two parameters.
Okay, get method take like three parameters. Okay, one is like okay, two parameters. Okay, any number of values you can pass. You're right. Any number of values you can pass. But the first one is like what? Path. Second one is like what?
Callback.
uh, Handler. Okay, it's like rest parameter. Rest parameter. If you observe here, see this. My first parameter is like a path. The second parameter is like a rest parameter or not. My rest parameter means it can take how many values? Zero to any number of values. It can take it or not. Yes or no?
Yes.
Zero to any number. But zero to any number, which kind of data you have to pass? Numbers or strings or functions? Which kind of data you want me to pass? Second argument, which kind of data? Router dot get handler. Handle some functionality. Who can handle the functionality? Functions.
Functions.
Right. That the reason my second parameter is always like a function. That function will pass as an argument, and the function means that is like a callback or not. That is like a callback. Agreed? Okay. Okay. Then. Now let's go to the actual flow. This is my server application. This is my server application. I am the server side developer. I don't know about any client. I don't have any client application knowledge. This is my server side application. If it is like a server side application, if you want to test your endpoints, okay, who can connect? How? Okay, by using which tools you want me to connect with the server application to test it? As you said, Postman is the one. The next one is what? Swagger is the one. So, for example, you are like a front end developer, you are like a man stack engineer, think like that. If you are like a man stack engineer, this is what, if you are like a man stack engineer, this is what server side application. Who is going to connect with the server side application?
Backend.
Okay, server side application is a backend only. Who is going to connect with the server side application if you are like a man stack engineer or mean stack engineer? Come on. This is my server side application. Who is going to connect with the server side application if you are like a
Client.
stack engineer? Either React application or
Angular application.
Angular application, right? Yes or no? Mern means it's like a React. Mean means it's like a Angular or not. Yes or no? It may be a React application. It may be an Angular application or not. Okay. So this one is like client application. Yes, no. This one is like a client application, and this one is like a server side application. This is like a server side application. The technology is what? Node.js. Now tell me, this Node.js application connect with whom?
Database.
Connect with the database. Everyone knows this one. The Node.js application is connect with the database or not. So that my Node application is going to connect with the D. Connect with the D. Yes or no? and node application is going to connect with the database. Okay, so tell me, you are like a man stack engineer. Then that time one case. You are only the React.js developer, that is one case. You are only the Node.js application, that is one case. Different cases, your responsibilities tell me. First case is like you are like a Node.js application, okay, Node.js developer, only Node.js developer. Your responsibilities are what? You are like a Node.js developer, your responsibilities are what? Come on, your responsibilities are what? Hmm? If you are like a Node.js developer, your responsibilities are what? Hmm?
Creating RESTful APIs.
Okay, your responsibilities are like you have to create an application, Node.js application, and you have to set up the database. You have to set up the database, and you have to write some API calls or endpoints based on your requirement or not. You have to write some endpoints based on your requirement or not. Yes or no? Okay, you have to write some endpoints or not. Those endpoints you supposed to be give to whom? Those endpoints to whom you have to give client, right? So before give that endpoints, you have to test it or not. Yes or no? So how we can test it? How we can test it?
Postman or Swagger.
By using Postman or Swagger, you can use it. By using Postman or Swagger, you can use it. If you are like only server-side developer, only Node.js developer, your responsibilities are what? First, you have to create a Node application. That is the first thing. You have to create the Node application. The next one is what? Come on. Okay,
Database
set
setup.
up
That
database based on your requirement. The next one is what?
creating
Come
APIs.
on, create some API calls based on your requirement. Next,
Test.
okay, you have to test those endpoints using Postman or Swagger. That is your wish. Okay, next,
At
once you
the
completed
endpoint.
these endpoints, you have to share these endpoints to whom? Share this info to whom? Info to my
Client.
client. Will share this information to my client or not. These are the responsibilities if you are like a Node.js engineer. Yes or no? So think now you are not the Node.js developer. You are like a front-end engineer, for example. Think like that. Your responsibilities are what? If you are like a front-end engineer, your responsibilities are what? Come on. We are not talking about code. Okay, just we are talking about the responsibilities. Just you can borrow things.
Create React applications.
First is like you have to create one application, right? Whether it is like a React application or it's like a Node application, not React application or like an Angular application or something else, whatever it is. Okay, Angular. Next, next, come on. You can design the forms, right? Design the forms based on your requirement. Based on your requirement, you can design the forms. Next, based on your requirement, you can design the forms. Next.
Ajax calls to connect with the server.
Yeah, you have to communicate with the node application. You have to communicate with the node application. If you want to communicate with the node application, if you want to communicate with the node application, first of all, my node application is running where? Okay, in that node application, which endpoint you want me to connect, that full-fledged endpoint details are required or not to my client side developer? Yes or no? Who will provide that particular information? See, share the information to client, right? Yes or no? So in this information only, he is expecting like what the endpoint is running where. Okay, he is expecting like the endpoint is running where the URL. Okay, the endpoint is running where. Okay, not only the full-fledged path, okay, they require like a method also, right? Either get to, put to, post to, delete. Okay, this kind of methods also or not. Okay, so they're expecting like what? The URL and the request method. They're expecting like what? The URL and the request method. Take it up. Feel okay or not? The URL and the request method. Okay, once you have the URL and request method, what you have to do? Once you have the URL and request method, you are like a client-side developer. Tell me, what you have to do using Ajax? You have to connect with whom? You have to connect with your server-side application or not. So my client communicate with the server application. We can say terminology-wise what request, right? You can say terminology-wise request. Vice versa, my server application, what is going to do? Come on, the server application, what he is going to do? By using Ajax, he send a request. With what? With this URL and a request method. With this URL and request method, by using Ajax, he send a request. Okay, once he send a request, what he is going to do? Once he send a request, what he is going to do? Once he send a request to the server, what he is going to do? Hmm. He receive the request and he is going to processing the request or not. He received the request and he is going to processing the request or not. Yes or no? He is going to processing the request. Once he processing the request, after that he has to give what response, right? That response also who can handle? Okay, my Ajax only or not. So this is my server side, okay, client side developer responsibility. Okay, you have to design the form and you have to send a request to the server, and whatever the server side application give the response, so that response you have to handle or not. Once you have the response, what you have to do? Okay, based on your requirement you can display the response, whatever it may be, you can do it. Okay, do some operations, or you can do some operations. Yes, sir. These are the, as a client side developer, these responsibilities you have to handle. For example, you are like a marine stack engineer or a mean stack engineer. Okay, just you have to take care both or not. You have to take care these both. Okay, you have to create the React application and you have to create the backend application, server side application, and you have to do the database setup and full-fledged flow. Send a request to the server and the server communicate with the database, and my database take, okay, from the database you can take the data and give the response back to who? Give the response back to my client or not? Give the response back to my client. So you're okay. So for good. Okay, now you created already endpoint, right? You already created an endpoint, right? Okay, using Postman you can test it. Swagger you already completed. Using Postman you can test it. So Postman is like what? It's like one software. Just you can install this software. Install this software. Now if you come here, okay, the user interface looks like this. User interfaces looks like this. Already we have, right, student registration. Okay, just you can click on it. Just you can click on it. Response is not having any response. Okay, maybe it's like a 2020, right? 2022, not 2020. Now if I click on this one, you can see the response like this or not. So the same, okay, endpoint I want to consume from the client using Ajax. Using Ajax. Now see, internally, my Postman tool also using what, Ajax only. Now see here, there has the code symbol is there. See, in the right side top corner, code symbol is there, code icon. Now if I click on this code icon, okay, observe here, if you want to connect with the server side application, okay, by using Ajax, when if it is like a JavaScript related application, if it is like a call application, okay, now see, this is the way we are going to, okay, send or communicate with the server application called. Now one by one you can see these many things. C sharp HTTP client, if you want to connect, there has HTTP client is one class is there. Okay, by using this one you can send a request and get the response or not. This is C sharp. Okay, the next one is like call, the next one is like a dot. Okay, like this multiple things are there. Now if you come to the JavaScript, see the JavaScript fetch is there, right? So by using fetch method, see HTTP localhost 2020 student registration student, my fetch method returns me what, a promise that there is an, okay, you can get the data, a promise that you can get it. But from here again returns me promise, you can get the actual response, and finally you can get the response or not. See, by using fetch, you can get the response or not. Observe here, by using fetch, you can get the response. Now control C, let's go here, come here, okay, inspect it, go to the console. Okay, now request options, the request options, I don't have the request options. Okay, just you can say my method is like a post method, my method is like post method. Now if I click on enter, okay, it gives me an error, syntactically it is invalid. Now if you come here, now see there has one error, just hold it. Okay, now the same thing I'm going to run here, and the same thing I'm going to run here, the same thing I'm going to run here. The same copy I'm going to run in another tab. Now it is working. So what is the difference between this tab and this tab? In this tab it is not working, but in this tab it is working. This tab it is working. Okay. Understood, right? Okay. We'll see that. Now come here. First complete this one. If it is like a jQuery. Now using jQuery, we are going to send a request like this. Okay, settings, URL is this one, method is this one. Is there any headers or there? Is there any data you want to send? Okay, headers to data already there. That the reason it is showing. Okay, if the address and data is not there, okay, now see in the header spot, these many headers, authorization token related header also there somewhere. So this is the one. The next one is like if you come to, okay, data, okay, request body. See this data is also there. That's the reason it is showing the data also. Now you can see I have the URL and I have the request method. If you have the URL and request method, you can send a request to the server. Okay. The next one is like JavaScript XML HTTP request also. See this. By using XML HTTP request class, okay, I can send a request to the server or not. So that is also like this for any, if you observe here, Node.js. If it is like a Node.js, from the node, if you want to communicate, okay, Anxious is the library is there. Most of the times in React, we are going to use this Anxious library or not. Okay, why they said like node means, see, by using Node Package Manager, I can get this library, I can use it or not. Yes or no? Node.js native is there. Okay, by using that one also. Okay, core Node.js. By using that one also, we can send a request to the server or not. The next one is like Node.js request. Okay, this is one. So multiple languages. Okay, there has multiple languages are there. Every language has the feature to communicate with whom. to communicate with the server side application or not. Now see the Python. Okay, now my Python application want to communicate with another server side application. Now see, by using post method, by using this URL, he is going to send a request and get the response or not. That's all. So for each and every language, you can find the code here to communicate with your server side application or not. The server side application can be anything, that is like a Node.js application, a Java application, or .NET application. It's not a matter. So if you want to connect with the one Node application from Python application, then you can use Python related code like this. So everything you can find, okay, for each and every language you can find, okay, the code snippet to communicate with another one server side application. Any language, if from any language you can communicate with the server side application or not. Understood? Okay, where you can find the code means go to your Postman, right click, okay, right top corner, see this, there is a code and there is a templates are there. Okay, just you can go with the code, okay na, up here. Okay, okay, now come here. Whenever I run this one, okay, I'm able to see what, whenever I run this one, I'm able to see the output here, in which tab, in this particular location. But if I run here, I'm not able to get it. And I'm getting like one error. What is that error? If you observe here, see, HTTP localhost 2020 student registration from the origin, okay, something like Chromo untrusted has been blocked by the parse policy. Access control allow origin header is present on the requested resource with the something, okay, response service you need is, then that you have to do some changes like this. It gives an error. Okay, what is this core server? See this. Most of the times, as a backend developer, you can see this kind of errors. What is this core server? What is this core server? Okay, very simple scenario, you can take it. File, new. I have a server side application. This is my server app. Okay, na? Very, very important. It's not only for Node.js, it's for any server side application. Okay, this is my server app. Okay, so when you can get the cross origin error means you are in one location. Localhost 2020. Another person want to communicate with you who is like coming from another location, not like same location. That time you are getting like this kind of errors or errors. Okay, how it is going to handle, we'll see. First, client server application only you can take it. Okay, my server application is running where my server application is running,
Localhost 2020.
localhost 2020 is my server application. Yes, sir. My server application is running where? My server application is running in localhost 2020 is the one. Or the server application is running localhost 2020. Okay, the next one is what? Who want to communicate? Who want to communicate with the server application? Just think a client want to communicate. Okay, just in this case. So my client applications, different applications are there. For example, okay, different applications. This is one client application. This is one client application, and there is one more client application also there. Okay, and one more client application also there. Okay, and my Postman also is like a kind of client application only. My Postman also, it's a kind of client application only. And my Swagger also, it's a kind of client application only. Why? Because who talk with my server application, okay, remaining all are my server application treated like clients only. Okay, so this is my Postman and this is my Swagger. This is my Swagger. This is my Postman, and this is my Swagger. Okay, now done. Now, whenever my client application, for example, it's like a React application. Okay, and this is my Angular application, and this is my Vue application. Okay, Vue application. Now, these client applications are going to run where? My client applications are going to run where? React to Angular Vue
Browser.
is going to run in the
Browser.
browser, right? In the browser or not? Yes or no? My client applications are going to run in the browser. Browsers. Okay. Browsers. Okay. All client application no need to run in the browser. Now, React application is going to run in the browser. So where it is running, okay, my React application is running, okay, 3000 port number. My Angular application is running 4200. My Vue.js application is running 2020, like that, for example. 2020 already there, na? Next to 5200. Okay, done. Tell me, my server application running means residing, living in which area? Localhost 2020 area. My client application is running where? My React localhost 3000. So, localhost to localhost common. For example, this state is common, but in the state where they are like living, that address is like different or not. This guy is like living in 2020 area. This guy is living in 3000 area or not? Yes or no? Come on. Both are living in the same area or different areas?
Different.
Different areas, right? Okay, both are living like a same area. For example, okay, me and my friend both are like in the same village. Then that time, okay, we are like known persons or not? We can treat both like known persons or not? But here 2020 is like one location, 3000 is like another location. He is like in one area, I'm in another area, but my state is like same only. In that case, these people are like known persons or unknown persons. Come on, 3000 to 2020, simply unknown persons, right? Okay. Now my browser, see, browser is important here. Whenever, who dispatch the request? Who dispatch the request in this case? My React node application communication. Who dispatch the request in my React and node application communication? Who dispatch the request? Come on. Who dispatch the request? My React
Ajax.
application is going to run where? My React to Angular applications are going to run where?
Browser.
Browser, right? Who dispatch the request? Browser only dispatch the request or not? So my browser dispatch one request. Okay, na? My browser dispatch like one request to whom? Localhost 2020. While dispatching the request, my browser is thinking like this. Okay, this person is living in 3000 area. This 3000 area person wanted to communicate with 2020 area, so that these two people are like unknown persons. Like that, my browser decided. My browser decided like what? This person is like 3000, this person is like 2020. Both are like what? Residing in different, living in different areas. That's the reason both are like having what? Both are like what? Unknown persons or known persons? Both are like unknown persons or not? Yes or no? Both are like unknown persons or not? Whenever my browser decided like both are like unknown persons, okay, my browser like think, okay, I am the mediator, okay, to communicate with whom?
Server.
I am the mediator to communicate with whom? Server side application or not? Yes or no? Server side application. Whenever it is like a known person, okay, that's okay. This guy, known person. Okay, if I allow him also, okay, both are like known persons only, no problem. Whenever this person is like an unknown person trying to connect or communicate with this guy, First, my browser thinking like both are like unknown persons. Instead of directly communicate with him, okay, instead of allow him directly to communicate with 2020, I want to do one thing. What do you know? First of all, I go to ask to my server side guy, hey, one unknown person which is coming from 3000 location, do you want me to allow him or not? Like that, my browser decided like just ask. Okay, he don't want to allow, just he want to ask to my server side application. My browser, whenever he decided like a unknown person, first my browser not directly allow him. First my browser is going to check to my server side application like this. Hey, 3000 location person want to communicate with you. Okay, that person is like unknown person. Do you want me to allow him or not? Got my point? Like that, my browser communicate with whom? My server side application or not. So my browser communicate with the server side application. My browser is nothing but a client. Client communicate with the server application. What we can say?
Request.
Request, right? Request, right? Is it like original request or a dummy request? Come on, it's a not original request. Original request when it is if directly 3000 person whenever he communicate browser through 3000 person, my browser only the interface, but 3000 person whenever he communicate, then we can say like a original request, but it's like a dummy request. We can say like a pre-flight, we can say like what, pre-flight request. It's like a pre-flight request, it's a dummy request. These requests not considered, it's not original request, it's a kind of, okay, my browser is going to check with the server side application. Okay now, so my browser send a pre-flight request. Now tell me what my browser is expecting once he send a pre-flight request. What he is expecting, the next level step is what he's going to expect?
Response.
Response, right? That is the general thing. What kind of response he can get it? What kind of response you can get it? My browser can get to what kind of response?
The success or failure.
Yes, no, right? Yes or no? Hey, no problem. Okay, unknown person also no problem. I can guide him. I can talk with him. Okay. Okay. Another one is like what? Hey, I don't know him. Don't send. I don't know about him. Who is that guy? Okay. Don't send to him. Okay. Don't send. Don't send. So that you can get, my browser can get two kinds of responses or not. Two kinds of responses. One is like my browser may say no, my browser may say yes or not. Okay. Okay, my browser too. Okay, my server side guy may say yes to my browser, may say no to my browser. Whenever my server side guy say no, then that time you can get this error. Then that time you can get this error. That means my browser treat as like a what? As like a unknown.
Unknown person.
He send a pre-flight request to which URL? Come on, to which URL he send a pre-flight request to this URL. Whenever you send a pre-flight request to this URL, okay, my browser received the response is like what? No, hey, don't send. That guy is like unknown person, don't send. Whenever he not send, whenever, okay, he said like don't send, then my browser rises or throws, okay, this kind of error is like what? Parse error. This kind of error we can say like what? Parse error. Yes or no? Okay, this is one case. Parse error we can get it. The next case is what? He may say, come on, he may say yes, right? Yes, right? Whenever he say yes, what my browser has to do, tell me?
Check the response.
Send your original request or not. Send your original request or not. See the difference. This is the pre-flight request and this is like a original request or not. So again my browser send a request, but this time it's like a
Original.
request. This time it's like a original request or not. Whenever my browser send a original request to my server application, he is going to process the request and give the response back to my client or not. When this is happened, whenever both are residing or living in different locations or not. both are living in different locations, that time you can get this kind of errors. What kind of errors? Means coarse errors you can get. So here why coarse? Now tell me here why you get the coarse error, here why not get the coarse error? That is the question. In this particular location I'm getting like the output hello, but in this particular location I'm getting like a coarse error. Why? That is the question.
Here we are passing only pre-flight request from the browser.
Yeah, in this particular tab, my request dispatched from which location in the browser? Localhost.
20.
In the browser, you are okay. My browser is nothing but a client. My client where now? In the localhost 2020 or not? Sending the request to what? Sending the request
Localhost.
also what? Localhost 2020. Then that both are like what? Same location or different location?
Same.
Same location. Whenever it is like a same location or known persons, then the time my browser there has no second thought. Okay, both are like known persons only. Why I need to stop him? Like that, my browser think, and he is going to send the request and get the response or not. But in this case, what happened? You want to communicate. This is also browser only. You want to communicate with this one. From where? From Chrome untrusted. No URL, nothing. This is the default one. From this location. Okay, both are residing in the same area or different areas? Both
Different.
are in the same area or different areas? Tell me. Localhost 2020 is my server application. Okay, Chrome trusted something. Okay, that is like different location or not? Both are like in different locations. Whenever both are like in different locations, then the time what happened? Whenever both are in the different location, then the time what happened? Come on. Then the time what happened?
Browser will
My
send the
browser sent
pre-flight.
a pre-flight request, but my server side guy said like what?
No.
No. Okay, hey, don't send. I don't know. Okay, then that time what my browser did? What my browser did? Yeah, man. Okay, he's not allowing. That the reason. Okay, he. Okay, said like what? Coarse error.
Course error.
He raised a coarse error or not? Cross origin error. So tell me, is my server application communicated by the client from the same location or different locations also? Sometimes
Different also.
different locations. If it is like a different locations, my server side application should ready, okay, should ready to handle. Hey, from where you can come, no problem at all, I'm ready to communicate with you. Wherever the location, is not a matter, I'm ready to communicate with you. Like that, my server side application should be in the position or not? Yes or no? My request can come from anywhere. My browser send a request. Why? Because my browser don't know, okay, this guy is like accept or not. That the reason my browser send a pre-flight request. That particular request from any location, my server side guy always said like what? Yes, right? My server side guy always said like what? Yes only or not? Always said like yes only. Whenever he said like yes, then only, right, my browser send original request. So that you have to make this application. Which application? My server side application or my node application, to handle the request from anywhere. It can be, okay, different locations, different port numbers, wherever it may be. From wherever it may be, my server side application should ready to handle that particular request or not. Like that, you have to make this application. For that purpose, in my server side application, you have to do some changes. What you know, whatever the application you created, that application should be in the position to handle any kind of request from anywhere. Okay, the URL may be different, my port number may be different. From anywhere, my server side application should handle that request or not, should be in the position to handle that request or not. So you have to make that application like that. For that purpose, in your Node.js, okay, different languages have different code snippets to handle the cross origin requests. So that in the Node.js, if you want to handle the cross origin request, we have one library is there. That library name is like course only. There has one library is there. That library name is what? Cors only. So what is that library name? That library name is like cors. So how we can install it? npm install cors is the library. npm install cors is the library. So where you are, okay, see here, you just installed outside. That there is an outside node module, so package log.json and package JSON. These all are like outside installed. So let me delete it. Let's go to my node express app. npm install cors is the one. Okay, now my cors are okay to handle to accept the cross origin requests. Cors one you can get it. Now if you come here, my node app, in my application, okay, what you have to do from here?
Import.
First you can import that cors. Okay, first you can import that cors where my cors equals to require, what is that cors? Require cors. And then here, once you have the cors, you can use in your application to handle the cross origin issues. My cors is like what kind of type?
Function.
It's like a functional type or not. See, this kind of configuration, small configuration you have to do. This kind of small configuration you have to do it. Okay, now you can say npm start. npm start. Okay, now it is running on localhost 2020 or not. Okay, now if it is like live server, then the time it's going to work. Now you can test it. Okay, if it is not work, then the time you can try with React. Okay, it is like individual. My browser is going to block. Okay, now the application is like what? Now say this. This is my your post.in. This is different domain name or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is like a different domain name or not? So now from the different domain name, my browser send which kind of request? See this, my browser send a pre-flight request. This send or not? Observe. My browser send what kind of request? My browser send what kind of request? Come on.
Original. Oh, sorry,
Pre-flight
pre-flight.
request. Pre-flight request or not? For what purpose my browser send a pre-flight request?
To
This is
know.
for what purpose? To check whether okay he can allow him or not. Yes or no? He is ready to accept him or not. Unknown person. Na? So this time in the past it's not accepted. Why? My server side guy is not in the position to accept unknown persons. But you made like what? Server side application can I accept unknown persons also or not? So that my server side application gives me the response is like what? Yes. Hey, no problem. You can send. Whenever he said yes, my browser send what? Original request or not? Yes or no? If it is like original request, you can get the actual response. Now this one is like a dummy request or pre-flight request, you can say. Pre-flight request method by default is like what? Options is the one. By default, it's like a options. Pre-flight request by default, it's like what? Options is the one. Understood about the cors issue? How to handle? Any questions, anyone so far? So the technology may be anything. Okay, it's like a Node, Java, .NET, PHP, technology may be anything. But that server side application should be in the position to handle the request from anywhere or not. For that purpose, you have to write some code, you have to do some configuration to handle the request which is coming from anywhere. Okay, my domain may be changed, maybe different. Okay, my port number may be different, my protocol may be different. Anything, it's not a matter for me. I can accept the request from anywhere. Okay, na? Do you hear any questions, anyone? Okay, for now, can stop here. Can you do up to here? Can you complete our application? Just run one simple endpoint. I already asked you. Okay, just did you try?
Yeah.
Okay, it's working as expected with Swagger implementation.
Yes.
Okay. What about remaining people? So next week, if I get time, I'm going to take like a weekdays also. Okay, just I'm going to drop a message. Okay, to you.
Okay, sir.
So any questions up to here? So tomorrow, just I want to communicate with the database. Communicate with the database. Okay. For that purpose, can you do one thing? Can you create one MongoDB account here? MongoDB account, mongodb.com. Just can you create a MongoDB account? If you have already, that's okay. If you don't have, just I want to use like a cloud Mongo. If you don't have, can you create that account?
Okay.
Okay, just create it. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Okay, then we'll continue my things in the next session. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.